deity, Papa Legba. Now, if any of y'all know a little bit about it, even if you watch American Horror Story, you know you wouldn't call on him on your worst day. His depiction in American Horror Story is not the reality of what he does, but I think this goes without saying that you should not practice any kind of witchcraft if you are not properly introduced, I guess. So just a little background of Papa. Papa is like a spiritual god.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing, man? Hopefully you guys enjoy your time here. If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. We break down scary and creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG Reels, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. For this video for you guys today, man, we're going to kind of be exploring a different side of TikTok today, so wanted to give it a try. Let's check it out.
Samedi is a central figure in Haitian Vodou and is widely recognized as one of the most prominent Loa within the religion. He holds a distinct and powerful presence in Vodou ceremonies and rituals, particularly those related to death, the afterlife, and healing. As the head of the Jean family of spirits, Baron Samedi is associated with the realm of the dead. He is often depicted as a skeletal figure wearing formal attire, including a black tailcoat, top hat, and sunglasses. His appearance embodies a combination of elegance and macabre, reflecting his role as the intermediary between the living and the spirit world. Baron Samedi's character is marked by irreverence, humor, and a fondness for indulgence. He is known for his crude jokes, bawdy behavior, and love of rum and cigars. Despite his lighthearted personality, he possesses great wisdom and spiritual power, offering guidance and protection to those who seek his assistance. In Vodou ceremonies, Baron Samedi is called upon to facilitate communication with the ancestors and guide the souls of the deceased into the afterlife. He is also associated with fertility and healing, and his presence is believed to bring about transformation and renewal. Baron Samedi's significance extends beyond the realm of Vodou. His image and symbolism have permeated popular culture, making appearances in various forms of media, including films, literature, and art. His distinctive appearance and intriguing persona continue to captivate and fascinate both practitioners of Vodou and those with an interest in the occult and spiritual realms.
What do you guys think about all the information we just digested? Looks like it was used for some ceremonies, some voodoo ceremonies. Would you guys, I guess, call upon him on that type of ceremony?
Haitian folklores, mermen are called simbis. They are water spirits with dominion over moisture, rain, springs, ponds, wells, marshes. They control river currents and running fresh water. They are powerful sorcerer, shapeshifters, sensual, alluring, and seductive.
Do y'all remember?
It just sounded like they were the freaking pictures that were putting on the screen. These clips, man, made it seem like they were some basically like some male mermaids that had all power control over the water. Or they said they were shapeshifters, so that's, I guess, the main shape they were just shifting into. My best guess, Seekers. Like I said, we're exploring a different side of TikTok today, so if you guys know anything about that, man, I'm always open to learning down below.
The story where the white girl, she was 19 years old, named Caitlin Reston, where she called a spiritual deity Papa Legba. Now, if any of y'all know a little bit about it, even if you watch American Horror Story, you know you wouldn't call on him on your worst day. His depiction in American Horror Story is not the reality of what he does, but I think this goes without saying that you should not practice any kind of witchcraft if you are not properly introduced, I guess. So just a little background of Papa. Papa is like a spiritual god, and it meets people at the crossroad. He is a symbol of communication, and he looks like a frail old man. A dog is also a symbol of him. But anywho, Caitlin decided to practice this allegedly, and many people were telling her not to. I believe one day she got upset with her girlfriend and decided to like cast some type of spell on her, and it didn't work. There were like images of her and her little voodoo dolls and cults and all that stuff, and she was saying that she was a Wiccan. But after she casted that spell towards her girlfriend, who I believe was black, I don't know, it backfired. She started seeing things and stating that she thinks she saw him, and she was like tweeting these things and writing these things out for the public to see. But on April 19th, 2020, Caitlyn would mysteriously drown in a bathtub, and she leaves behind or left behind her daughter. Honestly, I don't even know what to say about this. There were many accounts where people who actually practiced what she was trying to do was saying that she probably met someone similar to Papa Legba in image. However, it was a worse spirit or spirit god. See, this is why I'm not playing. No, ma'am. What do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
What do you guys think, man? I don't practice witchcraft, so I don't know.
Everybody knows Anansi.
None of that stuff.
He's tricksters in old mythology and folklore. Bet you didn't know that Anansi, along with a few other people like Mami Wada, came to the Caribbean and had their own adventures. Story comes from Haiti, and it's called Anansi and the President. So after one too many pranks, the president of Haiti is like, look, Anansi, I don't ever want to see your face again. And one day while walking down the street, a bunch of people are saluting the president in line. And then there's someone sticking their butt out at him. The president storms over and finds that it's Anansi, and he goes, what are you doing? And Anansi says, look, you told me to never show my face to you, so I'm showing you my butt. President says, Anansi, I don't ever want to see you again, clothed or naked. The next day, the president's walking down the street, and he sees Anansi, butt naked, but covered in a fishnet. President loses it and goes, what are you doing? And Anansi says, you didn't want to see me clothed or naked, so this is both. President says, if you ever step foot on this soil again, I'm gonna shoot you. Anansi heads over to Jamaica, puts a bunch of dirt in his shoes, and then comes back to Haiti. And the Haitian president's like, what are you doing here? And Anansi looks at him and smiles and says, I'm technically not on Haitian soil. Having been completely embarrassed, the president decides to leave Anansi alone. There's being petty and then being Anansi petty. God, I love that story. Hope you enjoyed the story, everyone. Happy Black History Month, and have a magical day.
That was a whole story, man. It seemed like he kept finding loopholes after loopholes, bro. He was like one upping them every single time, man. He kept finding the loophole through the his rules. Honestly, man, this was smart. Just kept one up with him.
We know all sorts of mythology and folklore, but do you know your Haitian folklore? I do, and I'm gonna share one with you today.
Okay.
We're starting off this series kind of grim, so today's lesson, the singing bone. So deep in the woods of Haiti, there was this man, we're gonna call him Bob. He had a son called Jacob. Now Bob had a hard time with women, right? So his first wife, Jacob's mother, died, and then he went out on the scene looking for a woman. He found a new woman, we're gonna call her Margaret. She doesn't stay long. They got together and had a second child. We're gonna name him Mario. So we have Bob, Jacob, and Mario. Margaret dies, away with her. So now we have Bob and his two sons, the older Jacob, the youngest Mario, and Bob is still looking for a woman. It's traditional that in Haiti that the men go out to work and the women usually take care of the domestic household. So he's looking for a wife. So one day he goes and finds this really mean and ugly lady. We're gonna call her Chantal. I got beef with one of my people named Chantal. She kind of traumatized me as a kid, so we gonna call her Chantal. Reparations, homie. But anyway, Chantal may have been bitter and mean, but she was a wonderful wife. She cooked, she cleaned, and did everything for Bob, and she took care of Jacob and Mario, though she did not like them really. So one day Bob goes to work, and Chantal, being the devious and mean lady that she is, looks up to the two sons, and she calls them to the kitchen. So they come. So Chantal goes, hey boys, I need both of you to go out and look for sticks for us to start getting the food ready. Whoever brings me the biggest stick will have an extra piece of meat on their plate, and everybody likes meat.
Okay.
So both Jacob and Mario got their sapats ready to go out and get some stick. Jacob ended up leaving first because he's the oldest, he know what he's doing. But before Mario could get out the door, Chantal grabbed him, just like that, snatched. Chantal ends up unaliving Mario, cutting him to pieces, oh my goodness, and basically cooking him for the family. When Jacob returns, he doesn't see Mario, he assumes that Mario's getting more stick. At the end of the day, Bob returns and Chantal gives Bob his food, which includes Mario. Bob eats all the food, delicious, right? And then he ends up leaving a bone, just the last piece of bone, a big chunk of bone, and he throws it under a tree. Now, Jacob is like, okay, Mario's missing. We haven't seen Mario, and the whole family's kind of worried. Chantal's worried too. And as Jacob goes out to find Mario, he goes next to this bone, right? The bone that the father left out, and the bone starts singing to him. And the song basically goes, oh, brother, my brother, please help me. My stepmother cooked me, my father ate me, and now I'm left to rot under the street. Now, Jacob, he's mentally stable, so he's like, I'm not tripping, so this bone is singing to me. What's going on? He goes closer to the bone, and the bone sings again. Same thing verbatim. Oh, brother, my brother, help me. My stepmother cooked me, my father ate me, and now I'm left to rot under the street. Jacob immediately peeps what's going on, because again, that man got a brain on him. So he runs to the father, and he says, we have an emergency. I think your wife, Chantal, cooked your son. And the father's like, part 2.
God damn. These part 2s, man, be killing me, bro. It's an old folklore story, man. We can look that up, Seekers, man. Or if anybody knows the ending. Follow me on my social, you can DM it to me.
This is something that's definitely not talked about enough, but we're going to talk about it today. Mermaids are absolutely real and absolutely demonic. The book of Genesis says that the sons of God came into the daughters of men and begat giants. This means that fallen angels were having sex with human women, and those women produced what we know as giants, or Goliath, and different things like that. The book of Enoch, which is actually quoted in the Bible, says that the women that agreed to sleep with the fallen angels ended up becoming sirens. Sirens are what we know as mermaids, and also seducing spirits. These spirits dwell in the water and even have a kingdom, which is where we get the concept of Atlantis. It gets super deep. I'm going to have to do a few more videos on this. Regardless, Jesus is the answer in order to be delivered from them.
She was putting those pieces together, man, and it makes sense about where, Atlantis come from. I guess how it came from that old, it came from the lore. Not the lore, but the old stories like that. The only thing that got to me was since you said the fallen angels was having, I guess, relations with the woman, and they would turn into mermaids. So that's how the mermaids and sirens, that's how they came to be, because they was meeting with angels. That's my first time hearing that, so freaking working my brain, bro.
I hope you're ready for another Haitian folklore. That was so creepy. Okay, today's folklore has no demons, no crazy stuff, right? It's a good folklore.
Alright.
Pristine and simple. It's called the case of the uncooked eggs. It's kind of like the magic beans, but with more logic than magic. Alright, so there was a poor woman, and we're gonna name her Martha. And Martha lived in a small hut on the side of a town, and we're gonna call the town that she lives in Gonaïves. Gonaïves is a special city in Haiti. One day a soldier's walking through the town, and he sees Martha, and he basically asks her for some lodging. Can I stay at yours for a day or two? And Martha's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And we're gonna call the soldier Elon, after exactly who you think. So Martha offers great lodging to Elon, and she feeds him and she washes his clothes. He has a wonderful time there, and he's so grateful for her services that when he leaves, right before he does so, he gives her 3 large eggs, and he departs on his way. Martha takes a look at the eggs, and she was about to cook them to make herself some food, but then she sees that they're like longer on one side. So she's like, no, my ancestors are telling me something bigger is here. So instead, she doesn't cook them, and she just waits for them to hatch into whatever animal they're going to hatch into. And huzzah, 3 days later, they hatch into 3 large red hens. And so she's like, oh, word. So she sells the 3 red hens for $5. And remember, this is all the way back in the days when people actually had a decent quality of living or something. I don't know. And so she sells them for $5. With the $5, she buys 2 little pigs. Cute. With the 2 little pigs, she trades them for a goat. And with the goat, she trades it for a cow. And so the cow grows older and becomes an ox. And so with that cow producing milk, she then begins to sell milk, and now she's able to have money for seeds, and she begins to farm, and she just makes a real good living with herself. She changes her hut into a nice little house. She just has it going on, okay? You gotta listen to your gut. You gotta listen to your gut. So 5 years later, Martha is doing well for herself. And when I say well for herself, she's not crazy like a billionaire. She's just doing enough to take care of herself and her community. So Elon's looking for Martha again, and Elon's like, yeah, that was a nice lady. I enjoyed my time with her. Where is she? Where is she? And then he sees Martha, and Martha's like, oh my goodness, boy, I'm so happy to see you. Thanks to you, my life has changed. Look at my farm. Look at my little house. Look at my cows. Look at my chicken. After she showed him around, she made him a large meal, and he stayed with her for the next 5 days. And during those 5 days, she treated him like royalty, the best of the best. But I named him Elon for a reason. Let's see what happens.
Why she named him Elon? Like, what the heck? We know what that's for. Gotta find part 2 to those stories. You're like, what the hell? For different Papillon, what the hell is that? Zombie. I guess those are different stories in the freaking Haitian folklore. Crazy, man. YouTube, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth, man. I really appreciate the support. Like I said, we kind of explored a different side of TikTok today, man. I wanted to switch it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. We could check out some more videos and things like that, man. Like I said, tell me down below, man. Like I said, if you guys want me to start a Discord or something, man, just so you guys can send me you guys clips of what you guys want me to react to. Because like I said, there's a whole bunch of clips, you know, sometimes. So I'll probably miss some things, man. Y'all can just send it to me. And yeah, man, do daily uploads every single day for you guys. So always make sure to check out the channel for a banger. Guys, gonna catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. What's up, seekers, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. If you guys are brand new here, man, it's just your first time here, what we do here, man, is we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, man, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos to IG videos, anything weird, usual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank you guys, the seekers, man, who's been tapping in with us, who's been subbing up to the channel. I really appreciate that, man. We're seeking the truth just like you. That's what brought you here, man. So let's see what truths, man, we're gonna see today.
For his life, the 23-year-old who was accidentally buried alive on a beach in Australia has sadly passed away. If you didn't know, Josh Taylor was at the beach with his friends when they decided to dig a deep hole around 1.5 meters to cook a pig in. His friends say that he stood up from his chair, lost his footing, and fell backwards head first into the pit. They say he put his hands out to break his fall, and the walls of the pit collapsed on top of it. A staggering 15 men who were on the beach pitched in, digging and pulling. But a witness said that the force of being pulled out using a rope tied to his ankles caused him further injury. It was pretty gnarly when he popped out. I threw up. He broke due to the suction and the force of everyone pulling. Josh didn't have a pulse for 45 minutes when paramedics began performing CPR. And after being rushed to hospital, it was almost a week before he actually passed away. Although they are currently treating it as a freak accident, police have confirmed that they are still investigating the circumstances around the incident and are now asking anyone with dashcam footage from that day to please come forward.
Ghost stories.
Seekers, what do you guys think, man? It's like I said, they said he just freaking fell into that pit. I guess the pit, it was so big, man. Yeah, because they said it was that like many meters, bro. He just fell in, bro, because they was doing a pig in. That doesn't sound right to me, bro. Like how I saw all of a sudden, man, there was all those other people, they didn't fall or something happened, but he just happened to fall in, bro. Somebody did an accident on purpose, man, and they tried to cover it up, bro. You don't know, man. Like I said, people nowadays are crazy, bro.
It's from around the world. Malaysia, the Penangle. Once there was a young girl who was bullied by a lot of people in her village. People would often say really mean and terrible things to her, like she had a face that only her mother would love. And that made her bitter and angry, especially towards married or pregnant women. One day when the bullying was especially bad, she finally broke down and went on a rampage, which resulted in the deaths of many pregnant women in her village. She was then obviously caught and brought to justice. The villagers and the families of the victims hung her by a really tall tree. then used a different piece of rope and tied her legs together, then tied the other end of the rope to a bull. When the bull was let go, her body was pulled out, leaving her head and her organs dangling from the tree. And that's how she became a vengeful spirit, who floats around at night trying to find a pregnant woman to be her victim.
Blood-curdling facts.
Leatherface, man. That's my first time hearing about a freaking serial killer that goes by the name Leatherface, bro. I mean, the way he was looking, man, he looked like, bro, it just freaking looked like pure evil, bro. And if you can say that I guess he burned in his freaking family house, like, what the, did he do that? Did somebody else was tracking him doing that? Like, how the hell did that happen, bro? Serial killers, man. It's truly some evil people, seekers, bro. Evil people, man. Not too much to say on that.
That you wish you never knew. When a person is electrocuted via electric chair, they feel absolutely everything. They're completely aware of their body being deep fried in real time. And one person who survived the first round of electrocution said it tasted like cold peanut butter. As you're watching this video, your internal organs are constantly moving around inside you. Your armpit is where most of your important nerves in your arms are, so if you stab it, it will leave your arm completely useless. Ted Bundy, the serial killer, used to work at a suicide hotline. Scaphism was a form of ancient torture where someone's body was tied between two boats and they were covered in milk and honey, and bugs and other animals would feast on their body for days. Cotard's delusion is a rare condition where people literally think they're dead, and many of them ask to be taken to a cemetery to be with other dead people. There are over 200 dead bodies on Mount Everest, and they're used as checkpoints by climbers. If you die inside of your house, it's very common that your pet is going to want to eat you. You wouldn't do that, would you? Neil Armstrong's footprints on the moon don't match up with the ones on his astronaut suit.
Okay, now that last fact he said is very freaking scary and interesting, man. The footprint on the moon doesn't match, I guess he said, his boots, so what the hell? Is the operation to the moon when it was all a facade? Never happened? Now that really gets you freaking thinking, man. Like I said, that's why I watch these videos with you, the fellow seekers, man. It gets us asking questions, bro. Expand my mind more. Hopefully it does the same with yours. But the footprint, they didn't match up. So what the hell? So did he even go up there, bro? See, man, now that has me questioning everything, bro. Let's move on, bro. What do you guys think, seekers?
This is the story of the woman who walked in on her own funeral. In 2015, an Australian woman named Noella Rakundo was coaxed over the phone by her husband into leaving her hotel room. But when she left, she was met with two men who kidnapped her and were hired to kill her. But almost immediately, the two men are starting to humanize her. They're asking her questions about her life. They're asking her why her husband put a hit on her. Somehow, she convinces them just to keep the money and to set her free. Meanwhile, days have already passed, and the husband's told everybody that she died in some tragic accident and he's going to be holding a funeral service. But she had details on that service. So following the funeral, everybody convenes over to the reception to continue mourning. That is until she walks through the front door. The entire room is stunned, and the husband was in such disbelief, he thought he was hallucinating. Everything comes out. He's arrested, he confesses, and the rare story of her revenge return is one that Australia remembers. These are scary.
Like, could you imagine that, bro? Like, the person that you live and that you love, you're supposed to take care of, be with, man, sets a hit out on you, and you like freaking convince them not to go through with it, man, and you freaking hit it with the, like, a freaking reverse Udo card, bro, at the funeral, saying, "Oh, you thought I was gone? Nope, I got you." Like, man, bro, what the? I'm surprised that didn't make like national headlines or something like that, man. Like, way more people should hear about that story, bro. Goes to show you, seekers, man. People I guess you think they're supposed to love and take care of you, man, they can change on you on that. Like a snap of the freaking finger, bro. That's crazy, man. She hit it with the reverse Udo, said, "You ain't taking me out, you go."
Scary urban legends that were proven to be real, part 2.
Up next is the Montauk Project. It took place in Montauk, Long Island in the early 80s.
And it was also the Duffers brothers' main inspiration for Stranger Things. The legend wasn't fully baked until the 1990s, when Peter B. Nichols, who was an electrical engineer, helped pen the entire Montauk project. During the Montauk project, they achieved insanely great things, like time warps to Mars, psychological experiments that resulted in 11 children with superpowers who became spies.
11?
The whole project shut down when word got out, and it was just kind of forgotten. People still believe that all those kids are still out there, either working for the government doing things for them or just living a normal life in secretive. But the crazy thing is, if they did this once, that means they could 100% do it again.
Here are the creepiest...
Man, like I said, I've been saying, bro, like how these TV shows and movies, man, how to be based off like real events about things that happened. Here, that Stranger Things, like one of the most popular shows, was based off that. That's insane, bro. And that kind of makes sense because, you know, Arrow 11, maybe that's where the name originated from. They say it was based off that.
It's Christmas Urban Legends, Part 1. Ever heard of the Yule Cat? This is an extremely creepy cat that's said to originate from Iceland. According to stories, the Yule Cat enjoys snacking on people during the holiday season. And what makes the Yule Cat even weirder is that it specifically targets people who haven't received any new clothing before Christmas Eve. Iceland is also home to Gryla. According to Iceland lore, Gryla is a giant ogress who leaves her cave in the mountains to feed on children during Christmas. To make the story even creepier, Gryla keeps the Yule Cat as a pet. What the hell is going on in Iceland? Then we have Belschnickel. This one comes from Germany. According to people of the Rhine, Belschnickel is an old bearded man who visits children during the holidays with Santa Claus. If you were good that year, he'd give you cakes and candy. If you were bad, well, Belschnickel would pull out a switch and whip the children until they behaved. This is probably why Dwight from The Office loved him so much. There's also Krampus. This is one you've probably heard about from movies and books. In the Alpines, Krampus is a horned demonic figure who visits the homes of naughty children on December 5th and punishes them. In some versions of the story, he hits them with birch rods. In others, he straight up takes them back down to hell with him. The Germans definitely know how to scar kids for life.
I don't know if I can visit Mexico.
Why?
Bro, they have the scariest urban legends.
For real?
Yeah, they got La Chuza, which is a shape-shifting witch that looks like an owl and is 7 feet tall with the face of a woman. And you're not supposed to go outside if you hear whistling in your window.
What else?
Oh, La Llorona. She usually stays near bodies of water. She wears a white gown, long hair, and she's always crying for her children that she actually drowned. So you're next if you see her while driving on the side of the road.
Oh my god.
There's like this abandoned Disney park in Veracruz, Mexico.
What about it?
It has a statue that moves at night. There was 2 people exploring the abandoned park and caught it on video. Fam, you gotta check this out.
No, aguanta, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey, eso no es celular. No digas perras mamadas, no digas mamadas. Güey, es que era el vestido también así, güey. Amarillo.
And it's static, frozen. I'm good on Mexico.
But they do have beautiful women.
You right, we might have to risk it.
We walk the trails of Hawaii at night, unaliving everyone in our path. Hello, we are the Night Marchers. We are the spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors. On the nights of a full moon, or on specific Hawaiian holidays, we come out of our burial sites and march down a pathway in the island of Oahu. If we are out, you'll first hear the beat of our drums, and as we get closer, you will start to hear us chanting and our conch shells. Then you will see our torches. When you see us, lay flat on the ground and do not make eye contact. If we see you, we will absolutely unalive you. If we make eye contact, you will hear, "Oh yeah," which means, let him be pierced. If you are fortunate, and one of us is your ancestor, they will call out, "Now," which means mine, and we will spare you. So be careful in Hawaii at night, because...
Imagine bringing...
Okay, that was creepy, man. It's like he got cut off or something now? What was he about to say? That's a freaking scary, I guess, urban legend or something like that. I guess don't be out, I guess, walking the shores of Hawaii at night, man. I wonder how many freaking stories they have of that actually like happening. I'm about to do some more research into that lore, bro.
Of your dead son's ashes after you cremated him. But the baby monitor is still picking up on the sound of your son crying, except now it's coming from his ashes inside the urn. You stare at his ashes in disbelief as the urn starts moving by itself. Convinced that a part of your dead son is still somehow alive inside the urn, you begin preparing baby formula to feed his ashes. You know your son passed away, but the crying sounds coming from his ashes don't stop. And you recognize your dead son's voice crying, "Mama, Mama," as a hand crawls out of the urn. So what is inside your dead son's ashes imitating his voice? This short film is called Remains, and it's a powerful but terrifying story about a mother's grief. There were some genuinely scary scenes, and I thought it was impressive that it was mostly just one actor in an empty house. But let me know what you thought and follow for more.
Definitely go home some creepy ass vibes. I give it that.
A little girl, just 10 years old, sobs as she's brought into court, charged with first-degree murder. She's comforted by her mom as the judge orders her held on $50,000 bail. And look, as she leans close to her dad, you can see there are handcuffs on her tiny wrists. The charge is shocking. The murder of a baby boy at a daycare center outside Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Injuries sustained by the 6-month boy was not an accident.
The little girl was living with foster parents who run a daycare center. She told police she was holding the baby when the baby accidentally fell out of her arms and hit his head on a footstool. She says she panicked and began on the baby's head to stop him from crying. The girl's parents say she has a history of severe emotional problems. They have tried repeatedly to get her help, but have been told she's too young to be admitted to a mental health facility. Now's a disturbing sight of a frightened 10-year-old charged with the ultimate crime.
The longest prison sentence.
Man, that freaking young, bro. These people be doing these acts, man. When I be watching these videos, bro, it's like they be getting younger and younger, bro. Like, damn. She did all of that, bro. And said the parents tried to give her help, but she was too young to go to a facility or something, I guess, because of her problems. People need to pick up on that, bro. I feel like there should be different rules in place, man, because they tried to get her help, then look what happened. And she's gonna probably spend half her life in jail, bro. Off of the act, man. Seekers, bro. Be aware, man.
Sentence ever. Chamai Thipioso received the longest prison sentence ever. She was sentenced to a total of 141,078 years in prison for cheating more than 16,000 people out of their money, including the royal family in Thailand. She has made $200 to $300 million with a pyramid system over 30 years. But the Thai law says that you can only go to prison for a maximum of 20 years for fraud. Because of good behavior, she was released after 8 years.
Here's how one...
What the... That has to be like the ultimate scam story I've ever heard, bro. They said she made over like 200 to 300 million, bro. And she got out within 8 years? Nah, bro. And she scammed like a royal family as well, bro. That shows you her freaking level of skill. And he let her out after 8 years of good behavior. That ain't justice, bro. Like, imagine the freaking all that money she took from all those people, bro. Working class people, bro, who need that money. And she just gets off like that. Hell no, bro. Seekers, what do you guys think about that?
Strange marriage law caused a tribe to develop feet with only 2 toes. The Varoma people, who are also commonly called the ostrich or two-toed tribe, are located in northern Zimbabwe and suffer a very rare genetic condition called electrodactyly. Because of this, their 3 middle toes just don't exist, and their 2 outer toes turn inward. They're still capable of walking, but as you can imagine, they can't really run. It does, however, help them climb trees, which is useful since they follow a traditional hunter-gatherer way of living. And although not all of them have this condition, the tribe's law does not allow anyone to marry outside the community. And as a result, electrodactyly has been passed down, maintained, and can be found here more than anywhere else in the world.
Imagine a teacher at your middle school sending inappropriate pictures on Snapchat and abusing children. Cassidy Krause is a 24-year-old teacher from a school in Iowa. Despite her being listed on Facebook as being married after getting married in July, there are disturbing reports emerging. She was recently arrested and charged with abuse after sending obscene materials to a minor. It's believed that she sent inappropriate material to students via Snapchat, and she has resigned from her role at the school. She's accused of SAing at least 3 students while employed by the school, the youngest student being just 13 years old. Court records show that her husband filed for divorce from her on the 28th of August. She currently faces up to 33 years in prison if convicted. It's reported that she has posted a $10,000 bond and has been released from jail for now. She is scheduled to return back to court on Thursday. She is yet to enter a plea.
A case that may...
Nah, she gotta go, bro. She had freaking access to all those kids, man. She got to freaking 3 of them, bro. And look what the result was, bro. And she was made as well, too. Like, bro, just freaking destroying lives. One after another, bro. Doing sick things, man, to those freaking kids, bro. Like, people, man, when they do these things, bro, like, it's like they don't think about the consequences in their freaking mind, man, from if they go through these with these horrific acts, bro. I don't get it, Seekers, man. I truly don't.
Makes me sick. The murder of Kenneth White. These 5 teenagers was throwing rocks from an overpass. Eventually, one rock hit the windshield of White's car and hit his face.
He was just throwing rocks like it was a damn prank. That's dangerous. You can't do that. Look what happened as a result.
He's the world's smallest prisoner. You wouldn't believe the horrible things he's done. Raquel and her husband have 2 children. They live in an apartment in Houston. It was a Wednesday. They decided to go buy pizza because the kids were on their lunch break. They decided to drive themselves. They decided to leave their 4-year-old son and 15-month-old sister at home. They thought their 4-year-old son could take care of his sister. From the house to the pizzeria and back, it would only take 30 minutes, tops. That's enough time to pick up the pizza. Shortly after they left, 4-year-old son was playing in the kitchen with his sister. Something unfortunate happened. The 4-year-old son decided to carry his sister into the oven, and he picked up his sister and put her in the oven and turned the switch on. When the parents came back, they just walked into the apartment. They smelled the smell of burning meat, but they didn't care too much because they had bought pizza. The smell of pizza was strong. However, when they were about to go to the kitchen for a drink of water, and when they looked inside the oven, they saw a nightmare. Comments off on nightmare. Follow me, part 2.
This is the...
I literally said, bro, how these freaking kids and stuff when we watch these really being young. I thought 10 was freaking young. What the hell is going on, bro? Hey, man, people, man, we gotta wake up, bro. We gotta start paying more attention to the kids, man. Like, what the hell, bro? And why would you think your 4-year-old could watch your 15-month-old daughter, bro? In 30 minutes, that's like far away, bro. That's not like a 5 or 4 minute drive, man. That's a distance, bro. That's way too long. Should have had a sitter or something, man.
Scary moment, NFL player Elijah Moore appeared to start twitching on the ground after being tackled and hitting his head on the floor. Seeing what was going on, players around him could be seen backing away while calling for medics to quickly come and look at him. Now, after the footage started going viral, a few doctors on Twitter started commenting on why he was moving like that, with one saying, "Unfortunately, those are involuntary movements from a brain injury." And another said, "Involuntary limb movement occurs when there's a disruption between the brain and the muscles." Now, thankfully, after medics attended to Elijah, they ruled the injury as a concussion, and he was seen getting up and leaving the pitch. There's been no further update on his condition, but it seems that luckily he doesn't have any serious injuries. I'll keep you guys updated as we know more. Disturbing.
You know, freaking football's a dangerous sport, bro. But to see like how his body was making like involuntary movements, man, goes to show you, bro, the freaking, I guess, how hard they really truly hit in the NFL, man. When you catch that ball and you hit that turf, that's why I think you have to like fall a certain way, or you could sustain a freaking brain injury or something like that, man. Thankfully, they said it was just a concussion, but who knows, bro, like, what's gonna happen to him after his career. But I was saying, bro, you might want to get that checked out, man, because you never know. You just want to check just to be sure.
Things said by serial killers.
Earth, would you have hurt those people? Why did you kill those people?
No comments. I cannot answer you at this time.
And that's why you killed them.
Right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me.
Nonetheless, you killed 7 men.
Yes, you did.
I'm asking you, what got you to kill the 7 men?
And I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
This might be the most gruesome death of all time,
She's
and
insane.
whenever you do, don't look up the picture. This is 18-year-old Nikki Castoris, and on Halloween 2006, she crashed her father's Porsche 11 driving at more than 100 miles per hour. She was trying to switch lanes when she suddenly clipped another car, lost control, and then flew over the middle of the highway onto traffic lanes and into a concrete toll booth. And when police arrived, they walked into literally a nightmare. They arrived minutes later and they found Nikki's body still strapped to the driver's seat. But her head, however, was no longer attached to it. Nikki's head was completely severed in half, and it wasn't a head anymore. I can't even describe what it looks like because it's so disturbing. The wreckage and the scene were so brutal that the coroner wouldn't let her parents identify her body. But unfortunately, her parents were not spared from seeing the gruesome scene. Photographs of Nikki's death had somehow found their way onto the internet, and they spread extremely quickly. MySpace pages who were acting as some sort of tribute for Nikki's death posted the horrifying pictures of the accident. Nikki's parents then received countless emails of the photographs, and there was no escaping the trauma. I really urge you never to look up this photo because it might be one of the most disturbing things you would ever see. This case should be an eye-opener to everybody to not drive recklessly, because as you can tell, your life can be taken from you in a split second.
I'd never look up those photos, bro. Never.
Here are some facts that you probably didn't know that one day could save your life. If you're saving someone from drowning and they're thrashing their arms in panic, punch them in the chest to snap them back into reality. Otherwise, you'll go down with them. If you don't have enough money for food, hot tea is a solid cheap meal. You can use as much cream and sugar as you want, which will give you a lot of calories and keep your body warm. If you see money falling from the sky, do not try to grab it, run. This is a common method that terrorists use to lure people into a single area and attack them. Before you dig around your house, make sure you call the number 811. A guy will come out for free and mark any gas lines in the area, which will save you from blowing yourself up. If you're walking through a damp area and you don't have shoes, wrap your feet in duct tape so you don't get trench foot. This will make your feet water repellent, hence the original name duct tape, because duck feet can do the same thing. If you're ever bitten by a poisonous snake, do not suck out the poison. This doesn't do anything and will actually make the situation much worse.
This girl killed her mom's...
Really? Hey man, these facts, bro, especially man about, you know, money falling out from the sky. I've never seen that before, man, but you know, all the movies and shows where you see people go crazy and stuff like that, that kind of does make sense, because when people see money, a flish just whipping their head and they just go. But that is like, seems like the perfect time to attack, man. And about the second out the poison, man, I heard, yeah, that's what people were supposed to do, but it really makes it worse. I've never heard that before, man. I'm definitely going to do some more research into that, bro. Like I said, bro, see, because when I watch these videos, don't believe what I say, don't believe what the videos say. It's always up to you guys, man.
So that she wouldn't find out she got kicked out of school. On the 3rd of March 2020, police were called to do a welfare check at a property in Ohio. Brenda Powell lived in the house, the 50-year-old mother of Sydney Powell. Brenda had actually been on the phone with Sydney's former school. This was the University of Mount Union. Now, during the telephone call, a staff member heard repeated thuds and screaming, so authorities were alerted. Inside, they found Brenda Powell in a serious condition. She was rushed to hospital but died from her injuries. Brenda had been unaware that her 19-year-old daughter had been kicked out of the school. During her telephone conversation, Brenda was struck in the head and then stabbed nearly 30 times by Sydney. However, when police investigated the murder, Sydney tried to claim that there had been a break-in. She told them that there had been a noise and her mum had instructed her to run away. She said she heard screaming, and when she ran back in, her mum was on the floor. Investigators saw through her lies, and she eventually changed her story. At her trial, she pled not guilty by reason of insanity. Her defense argued that Sydney was suffering from undiagnosed schizophrenia. They stated that she killed while experiencing a psychotic episode. However, it is rare for people with schizophrenia to act violently. It was concluded that Sydney had been exaggerating her symptoms. She's recently been found guilty and is awaiting sentencing.
It is now being reported that Japan has just been struck by a powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake, and authorities are now urging people to flee to higher ground, warning that a big tsunami is now approaching, and maybe by the time you're watching this, hitting the country's shoreline. Happy New Year. Now the red X you see is the epicenter of the earthquake, and the purple line indicates the area is issued with a major tsunami warning with waves predicted up to 5 meters. Currently the extent of the damages and casualties are not yet clear, but there have been several reports of people trapped under the rubble of collapsed buildings. Motorways have been closed, bullet trains have been suspended, and footage shows cracks in roads and houses and buildings completely collapsed. This is a situation that is rapidly developing, so I'll keep you updated in a few hours.
That's insane, bro. I remember, yeah, like all the freaking like seismic activity that was happening all over Japan. It was happening like basically all over the place, bro. But I didn't know about the tsunami warning, man. Is that a freaking line, bro? What the hell was going on there, man? How about that 2024? It's supposed to be freaking good, but freaking tragedy stuff still happens, bro. It never leaves. YouTube, that's it, man, for this video for you guys today, man. Thank you guys, seekers, who stayed with me to the end, man. Seeking the truth with you guys, man. You guys are a real one, like I said. Subscribe to the channel, hit that post notification bell so we can grow the seekers, man. We can grow the community, man. Like, more people want to seek the truth, so that's the only way, man, they can find us. You guys can catch it in the next videos. I'm out. Peace, seekers. What's up, seekers? Welcome back to the channel. You guys already know what we do here, man. We break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, man. From TikTok videos to IG reels, man, to YouTube videos. Anything weird you want to explain, you can find right here on this channel. I just want to thank the seekers, man, who's been tapping in with the channel, who's been subbing up. Really appreciate that, man. We're seeking the truth just like you. That's why you found this channel. Found this video for you guys today, man. Let's check it out.
Than a year? Well, that's exactly what happened to these 3 astronauts. They came back to Earth after spending 371 days in space when their return capsule was unexpectedly hit by space junk. When the 3 men, Sergey, Dmitry, and Frank, were launched back in September 2022, they were told that they were only going to spend 6 months in space, but that later turned into more than a year. And that's because the accident caused so much damage to the radiator, so they had to wait for a replacement capsule to be launched back into space. When it finally arrived, the 3 astronauts were safely brought back to Earth and landed in a remote area of Kazakhstan on September 27th, 2023. Even though they were okay, they explained how tough it was spending so long in space and the psychological damage. And you might think that 371 days is an absurd amount of time in space, which it is, but Russia still holds the world record of 437 days in space, which was set in the mid-1990s.
This is why you should be...
Seekers, man, could you imagine being, I guess, like not touching, I guess, solid ground for more than a year? They was in space for that long, bro. Because I guess they said something else with the launch, man. And like I said, what she said was right. Like, that's like a freaking mind battle, bro, going on in your head, man. Being, I guess, away from your family, friends from that long, bro. But the thing that got me freaking spooked is, and they said from Russia, they have hold the world record. Why that? Heck, were they in space that long, bro? That's kind of weird, man. Got me asking questions.
Be careful of some photographers. Zoe Fit, a model on Instagram, was doing a photo shoot with a photographer she thought she trusted. The photographer's name was William Francis. But when Zoe went to go change her clothes in the bathroom, she noticed a little light on the charger brick. This one. She even found a chip inside. When she plugged the chip in her camera, this is what she found. Him plugging it up. Before I continue, I've been using this crazy fitness app. It even gives you the exact program to get the body you want. Link in my bio if you want to get in shape too. Zoe became devastated and even weirded out of the whole situation. And the scary part is you can get these cameras at places like Walmart and Amazon.
What the hell? Seekers, man, did you guys see that freaking camera? You would never suspect, bro. It looks like a freaking innocent wall charger, bro. Man, I'm telling you, man, technology is getting too advanced nowadays, bro. It's like you can constantly be watched, man, like 24/7, bro. You don't even know. He's a photographer, so you know how much access he had to those girls, bro. She's probably not even his only victim, bro. Probably been doing that a numerous amount of times. Man, bro, how could somebody even let somebody sell something like that, man? That's like too dangerous, bro. A wall charger disguised as a camera. I'm about to have me checking all the freaking chargers in my damn house or something, bro. Making sure nobody ain't trying to watch me.
Horrifying websites on the internet that you should never visit, Part 1. GoodbyeWarden.com gives the last words of 565 Texas inmates who were executed on death row. And some of the statements are absolutely gut-wrenching, with many asking someone to take care of their children when they're gone, and others insisting upon their innocence. DeathDate.info is a dark, morbid site that asks you to enter your name, age, weight, and height before spitting out the exact date that it thinks you're going to die. The site also provides you with 3 words that it says will be related to your death in some way. PlaneCrashInfo.com has an extensive database filled with recordings, pictures, and transcripts of the final moments of a plane crashing. And MidnightInTheDesert.com has unedited footage of the 67 exorcisms of Annalicia McKell. And trust me, her demonic screams will haunt your nightmares.
Bro, those websites, man, especially ones about this freaking the date, you put in your weight, date, age, bro. And you can figure out when you're gonna freaking just eat it. I don't know who would even make a website like that, but who wants to know about something like that, man? I wouldn't even go searching for that. That just put bad energy out to the freaking universe, bro. Seekers, and you know we all about good vibes over here, man. So I wouldn't even freaking attempt to even do something that's freaking stupid or scary, bro. That's just me. I know some people would probably do it in a heartbeat. They say, I want to find out. Not me. Seekers, what do you guys think about that, bro? Edit. I call the edits, man. I gotta call them out when I see it. That's clearly an edit. That's funny, dude.
This is 22-year-old Rhett Barlow, and he was seeking nothing but revenge. Let's rewind a little bit. In 2016, a dump truck driver had failed to slow down and rear-ended a minivan, causing the driver of the minivan to pass away. That driver was Rhett Barlow's mother. The man responsible for her death was Donald Calder Jr., and let me be clear that this was just one horrific accident. He was arrested, served his time, and later released, and Rhett still seeked revenge. On November 28, 2023, in North Carolina, Rhett had allegedly went onto a hitman website where he placed an order for Donald to be unalived. According to the New York Post, that same day he apparently purchased an AR-15. The hitman was indeed real, but reported Rhett to the police, causing him to be arrested. As of right now, Rhett is being held on a $1 million bond and has sparked a lot of controversy. Some are saying that Rhett had every right to seek revenge, while others are saying that Donald had already paid for his actions for a mistake he made. The hitman that reported Rhett to police didn't get arrested as well because he reported Rhett to police, but let me know your thoughts on this case.
U.S. Army...
that one... Yeah, I guess see why freaking cause controversy, man. You know, people want vengeance, and then there's other people said he served his crime, so I guess he already did his time, so I guess they figured the situation's over, man. But I guess the son, man, freaking it impacted him differently, obviously, because the person who passed away was his mom, so he just wanted vengeance, man, and he wanted to get at any cost, bro. Behind a hit, man, I don't think that was the move to go, bro. I can't believe there's even a website where you could just type it up and just, hey, I want to hire a hitman. Like, what the hell, bro? I'm telling you, Seekers, man, the things I've been learning watching these videos, bro. That's why, like I said, I'm seeking the truth just like you, man. I'm a fellow seeker out here, bro.
Soldier and fitness influencer has died by own choice just days after her daughter's 12th birthday. Michelle Young was a staff sergeant who enlisted at just 17 years old. The now 34-year-old served two tours in Afghanistan, most recently in 2021. That same year, she extended her military contract to serve 20 years. As of September, she had served 16. Military values ran deep in her family. The soldier often spoke of her grandfather, a Navy veteran. In her free time, Young worked as a crisis and trauma response volunteer while also volunteering at a local women's and children's homeless shelter. It's unclear how or where it happened. Sarah Main, the coup veteran-owned activewear brand Curves and Combat Boots, broke the news of Young's death through a GoFundMe campaign. Michelle was a beautiful soul, an amazing friend, a single mother. A soldier and is proof you never know what someone is going through or what demons they may be fighting. Young's daughter was her whole world, and the campaign was organized to help Gracie with anything she may need. We know Michelle would appreciate us all looking out for her now.
Crazy, bro. You never know what somebody's going through, man. You just never know. Always we gotta check up on your people, man.
Did you know that Chris Watts, the man who killed his entire family in 2018, has seen his daughter's spirit in his jail cell? In the book Letters from Christopher, author Sherilyn Cattle claims that she received a letter from Chris where he details seeing his daughter in a dream in his jail cell. In this dream, he claims to have seen his daughter Cece dancing on the chair next to his bed in the cell. And he claims that while he saw her dancing in the jail cell, the folders and other items he had sitting there started to move by themselves. In the same book, he also claims to have talked to his dead wife, who he murdered, on the phone from prison. There are multiple articles talking about this happening online, and it's also reported that the only things he's allowed to have in his cell are photos of his family and a Bible. He's also stated in the past that he hopes to be reconnected with his family one day, but I don't know if that's going to happen. If you want to hear more of the paranormal claims surrounding the Watts murders, go listen to my podcast, Murder in America. Our episode is an hour and 20 minutes long, and we go super in-depth in the case file. And I guarantee if you listen to our podcast, you'll learn new things that you've never heard or seen before.
I have to freaking check out that freaking podcast, bro, because I didn't even... I saw that case a couple times, but to hear he said that his daughter and his freaking dead wife, the ones, you know, he did the act who was communicating him in the cell. I don't know if he's doing that for attention, man, or they truly, I guess, trying to communicate with him, man, and I guess haunt him for his wrongdoings, bro, to them. And like these people, bro, when they say they communicate with these spirits, bro, you never know, man. Trying to talk to him, man, relay a message. What do you guys think, Seekers? Edit. Sorry, have to call it out. I can see it.
Once again, another child has been failed by the foster system. In November 2015, a 27-year-old Jennifer Rosenbaum called police when her 2-year-old foster daughter, Layla Daniel, began choking on chicken. The dispatcher walked Jennifer through the Heimlich maneuver to try and save Layla's life, but it was too late. When Layla's body was examined, it was clear that she was starved. She had bruises, abrasions, 11 injuries to her torso, and an injury to her liver consistent with punching her abdomen. And according to the pathologist, Layla's pancreas was also separated in 2 pieces. But Jennifer's defense argued that the injuries were actually from the Heimlich maneuver. Layla's older sister, who was 4 years old, was also fostered by Jennifer and her husband Joseph, but she was immediately taken away after Layla's death. But what's crazy about this story, and could have possibly saved Layla's life, is that this couple never turned in the correct paperwork and only went through a quick screening process to qualify to be foster parents. But also, I question how family services failed to notice the bruises and cuts on Layla's body during their visits. Jennifer was charged as the primary abuser, while Joseph was accused of pretty much turning a blind eye. She was sentenced to life in prison, and Joseph faces up to 30 years on second-degree murder.
The thing that was scary to me is like, you heard about what she said about the paperwork, how they were just able to freaking get access to that freaking kid like that, man. It's like the people, they're not freaking doing their jobs, bro, and you see how it affects everybody else, man. It's like if one person don't do the job, it's like it's a domino effect that can freaking change somebody's life forever, bro. Just like the simple things, man. It's the simple details, bro, that you can't miss, because you never know what's gonna happen, bro, in the future, but the outcome of it. It's just a sad and tragic case, Seekers. Truly.
right here is a strange true crime case involving two sharks. In 1935, fishermen caught a shark and put it in the aquarium in Sydney. A crowd came to see the shark and miraculously, great timing, it vomited a severed hand and a forearm out. The forearm had a boxing tattoo on it and the hand still had fingerprints. It belonged to Jim Smith, a petty criminal and a boxer. Upon examination, it was found that the limb was deliberately cut off with a knife. This opened a whole murder investigation. What makes it more interesting, the tiger shark did not eat the human arm. A smaller shark ate it, and then the tiger shark ate that shark. Jim Smith, the boxer, was last seen at the Cecil Hotel with some business buddies. And by business buddies, I mean everyone that commits insurance fraud. Two men, Brady and Holmes, were both arrested on suspicion of the murder, and later on they confessed to doing it. Apparently Brady cut up Smith, put him in a box, and tossed it into the bay. And that's when that shark ate the remains, and then the tiger shark ate that shark. It's kind of crazy how this whole thing came full circle like that. Let me know what you guys think about this case in the comment section below.
This will...
That case, man, you gotta see how it was like a freaking loop, bro. Like that freaking shark in the aquarium, man. The freaking, I guess, yeah, you know, traumatized. I guess those people there for freaking ever, bro. But here, how it was all over freaking insurance fraud, bro. And that shark, the shark ate the remains, and that freaking, and the other shark ate the freaking tiger shark, man. It was just like a big loop, bro. It's like he wasn't gonna escape that, bro. That his actions, the people who did that actions were gonna get brought to light, man. That's just insane, bro. To even think about that, man. Ooh. Like, imagine this for being in the audience. You think you're seeing a shark, bro. It just spits out somebody's freaking arm, bro. Imagine the kids and stuff being there, man. Traumatizing them, bro. Like, over a freaking insurance fraud. Over money, bro. The root.
Woman got a man beaten to death in the streets of Baltimore by screaming. This is Latiqua Mays, and she was 20 years old when all this went down. So Latiqua had lived in Baltimore, Maryland for a very long time. So a little while before this incident, Latiqua was living in a boarding house with one of her closest friends. And one evening, this man named Donald Robinson broke into their room at the boarding house and assaulted her friend right in front of her. Now, obviously, this was a horrible thing for Donald to have done, but Latiqua didn't think that Donald had been given a long enough prison sentence for the assault. So one day while Latiqua was walking down the street in Baltimore with her father, she came across Donald. She saw him out in the free world. That's when she started to scream, he raped me, pointing at Donald. Now, I'm pretty sure she didn't know exactly what was happening, but she incited people to violence and then ordered a group of men that were nearby to start beating him. So these young men who were at a basketball court nearby joined in. They started beating, punching, kicking Donald. They held him down and mercilessly beat him in the middle of the street while Latiqua pepper sprayed him. And later on, Donald was eventually taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead from his injuries. Even Latiqua's own father, Willie Mays, joined in on the attack, and he was eventually sentenced to 2 years in prison for second-degree murder. And Latiqua, she was sentenced to 6 years in prison. And for a while in her sentence, she was in solitary confinement. Now, I don't know what happened to her after all this. I don't know where she's at now. She's out of prison by now. But the mob violence in this story is absolutely insane. And I can't believe this man was murdered in the middle of the street in broad daylight by a group of people.
I ain't gonna lie, that goes to show you, man, the power of words, bro. She just said one thing, man, just like, that just set a flick off of everybody's head who was involved around there, and they just started freaking, I guess, going in on him, bro. That's why you gotta be careful, man, what you say, because you never know, bro. Think about it. She said one word, bro. It cost that man his life, man. It was like a live execution seekers. Gotta be aware of what you say, bro. There's power in words. Edit. What the?
We're the adults.
You can say that.
I am saying that.
I was by age.
And by maturity.
You maybe.
You were a teacher, Mary. You can't say I was immature.
But you don't know him.
No, but I don't need to know him in this discussion. He's the child. I'm talking about you.
Who was the boss? Who was the boss?
What?
Who was the boss back then?
There was me pursuing you.
Who was the boss back then?
Trying to flip it on him.
This is ridiculous.
No, who was? Just say.
Just say.
Who was the boss?
All I knew was what I knew back then.
But who was the boss?
He was 13, Mary.
But who was the boss?
This is getting weird.
Who was the boss? Who?
I'm pursuing the relationship.
Who was the boss?
This is sickening.
Well, I was the pursuer.
Yes.
Mary, even as you're hearing this now, come on, he was 13.
Doesn't matter.
It absolutely matters.
Oh well, flaw me. Flaw me as an
adult?
Yes, flaw me. I did the best I could.
What? There's no way she was like trying to turn it on him, like as the freaking interview was saying, like, bro, it doesn't even matter if he did all that. Like, he was a child. You're an adult in that situation, bro. You couldn't freaking use your morals and stuff just to separate yourself from that, bro. People like that, man, dangerous, bro. They want to take freaking accountability for your actions, bro. Seekers, you gotta be aware of people like that.
Called the Mines of Colorado. Hello, my name is Urban. I am a Tommy Knocker. We are the spirits of miners that passed away while working in the mine. We are not evil, but don't play around with us. We can be very mischievous. During the gold rush, mines began digging into the mountains of Colorado. Thousands of men journeyed to the west in hopes of striking gold and getting rich. However, most mines are extremely dangerous, and we would try to warn them of a potential collapse or dangerous gas coming. But since we are spirits, it was tough to warn the miners of the dangers ahead. We would knock on the walls, and it would echo through the mine. This was our first warning, but some miners thought we were guiding them to gold and would start digging towards their doom. We would then blow out their candles and turn off their headlights. Unfortunately, some didn't take our warnings.
What is the Siberian dancing lady? So you've probably seen this very eerie viral video of a woman dancing in the streets. The video allegedly depicts some kind of entity known as the Siberian dancing lady. According to some urban legends, if you look directly into the eyes of the Siberian dancing lady, apparently she will possess you or attack you or something of that nature. Side note, this is actually why you keep seeing those "sorry for looking into your eyes" comments. They are because of the Siberian dancing lady. The Siberian dancing lady is apparently known to jump in front of cars and dance in a very entrancing way that doesn't seem human-like. Now, there have been many reported sightings of this dancing lady, and they're all very, very creepy and very, very eerie. But so far, I don't think there's actually been any kind of report of someone being possessed by the Siberian dancing lady. So the part about her possessing you is probably made up. But there are so many videos of this dancing lady all over the internet that I personally believe she is a real thing, but we just don't know exactly what she is.
Seekers, man. What would you do, man, if you just saw in the middle of your neighborhood, in the middle of the night, you just see a lady just dancing, bro. And it keeps like recurring, bro, over and over again. You would definitely think something was up, bro. Something was freaking, I guess, wrong with her, man. The Siberian dancer lady, bro. That really piqued my interest, bro. I'm gonna have to do some more research into that, bro. Like, why she's doing all that dancing in the middle of the night? To say that she's jumping in front of cars, that makes it even 10 times more dangerous, bro. Like, that's just an accident waiting to happen. Seekers. Added, like, what the hell?
Today's case is one that shouldn't have even happened. But unfortunately, many girls, just like Lily, will suffer the same fate that she did. In December of 2021, Lily was just 18 years old and she'd been out at a nightclub. And in said nightclub, she ended up meeting 31-year-old Lewis Hayne. Lewis was a father himself, and the pair were seen on CCTV leaving together. In the CCTV shown, it was clear that the two were getting on very well. It looked like they were having a nice time, and it appeared that they'd just sort of left the club to have a bit of time to themselves. However, Lily's mum was on her way to pick up Lily, which had been arranged, and Lily had kept in touch with her mum, letting her know that she was nearly at the arranged pickup spot, until eventually she stopped responding to her mum. The pair ended up heading down a back alley, and it's believed that because Lily ended up saying no to Lewis's sexual advances, he murdered her. by forcefully ripping off her shirt and then strangling her and dumping her body into water nearby. To make this case even more heartbreaking, Lily's own mother had eventually ended up seeing Lewis walking down the street. She ended up looking at him and she thought he seemed odd, but little did she know he just murdered her own daughter. And to top off, and to just prove even further what kind of a person that Lewis is, he then got home and told his girlfriend, his long-term partner, that he'd just strangled someone. And it was hours later when Lily's body was discovered. So due to him being seen on CCTV with Lily, he was arrested. And in court, he stated that the reason why he killed Lily was because she threatened to accuse him of being a rapist after she found out that he had a girlfriend, which I personally think is utter rubbish. And he was sentenced to a minimum of 23 years in prison. Cases like this should not be happening simply because girls say no to a man. And I really, really hope that Lily gets the justice that she really, really deserves. It's just disgusting.
This is one of the worst cases.
It truly is, bro. Some people, man, they just can't freaking just accept the concept of no, man. No means no. If they say no, then that's it in the discussion, bro. I like to say the freaking mom, to hear that she like walked past him, bro, and she saw that something was weird and something was off, man. But and to figure out that he freaking took her daughter away from her, bro. Like she knew, I guess, or she felt something off. I'm telling you, man, people they can sense things like that, bro. I truly believe that, man. And if he can say he just walked in and just told his girlfriend that he did, but like he just didn't have no remorse. He just said, I did it. Secrets, bro. This world is evil, man. Always gotta be aware, bro. Always.
In human history, this is the murder of Christine Silouan. She was from the Philippines and was a volunteer in church, and she used the church every day from 4 to 6 p.m. On the day of her murder, she went to church as per her schedule, but she didn't come home after that. Her parents then started to worry, and they began searching for her with their neighbors. And what they found is absolutely horrid. They found her body in a farm where half her face was sliced like a piece of pizza, and her face was literally skinned down to her skull. Also, her brain was completely destroyed by acid. The police then started investigating, and they checked the cameras and found out that she was with a guy. The people started protesting about this case, and the case was then given to special officers. They had a lot of pressure on this. A week before this happened, she broke up with her boyfriend, so the police took him into custody. And he was proving that he was at home all day when she was murdered, but officers were completely tired of this case, and they then sentenced him as the murderer. But after a few months, a thief was caught in a store where he confessed that he murdered and raped Christine. He said he started talking to her on Facebook with a fake account and was using fake photos of another guy that was pretty good looking. Christine fell for the guy, and she assumed that he was about 20 years old, and they started texting daily. One day, they both decided to meet up at 6 p.m. near the church she went to. But upon arriving, Christine noticed that this was not the guy she was talking to, and he was around 40-ish years old. She then refused to talk to him and tried to go back, but he held her hands extremely forcefully. He then took her far away from town and raped her repeatedly and put iron rods inside her personal organs. He then cut her face in half and then skinned her whole head down to the skull. And to make it even worse, he put acid inside of her head. The autopsy also revealed that her tongue, trachea, esophagus, parts of her neck, and her right ear were missing. The self-proclaimed killer of this case, named Renato Lanis, said that he used barber-type scissors and stabbed her 30 times on different parts of her body and skinned her face. Christine Silouan was only 16 years old, and this case is extremely haunting. There's a picture of her body that was found in the field, but Google did a really good job of not showing it and hiding it. So even if you do go looking for the picture, I don't think you're going to find it. This is one of those cases that after you get done reading it, you just feel some sort of uneasiness. I feel so bad for Christine's family, and I can't imagine finding my daughter in this state. May Christine Silouan rest in peace. This 18-year-old...
She getting all freaking catfish, bro. I tell you, man, bro. Freaking people, bro. Freaking demented, man. He made a fake account profile to talk to her, bro. She shouldn't know because it's true. If he himself was revealed, he just decided to do the unthinkable, man. That's what I'm telling you. Like, people behind these profiles and stuff, man, you gotta do research into them, man. I guess if you're talking to somebody online, because you can never know, but they can be a catfish. They can be a completely whole different person, bro. You can make a whole different life online, bro. Speaking of scary, man, how you could just portray yourself to somebody else, but you're a completely different person. Seekers, bro. Tell me, have you guys have any problem with any catfish before, bro?
Model was murdered, and you won't believe what her killer said. This is Sally Ann Bowman, and she was born on September 11th, 1987, in Carshalton, South London. She attended the Brit School for Performing Arts and Technology in Croydon. Sally Bowman had dreams of one day appearing on the cover of Vogue and had been compared to supermodel Kate Moss. After leaving school in 2004, she worked part-time as a hairdresser and model. In January 2005, she joined Post Model Management, a local modeling agency, and she became the face of Swatch Watches and took part in the Swatch Alternative Fashion Week in April 2005. But in September of that year, her life would drastically change forever. On the night of September 24th, 2005, Sally Bowman and her older sister Nicole and a group of friends went to Lloyd's Bar in Croydon, where they stayed until 1 a.m. After leaving the bar, Sally Bowman waited outside for 15 minutes before being taken to a friend's house by taxi. She contacted her ex-boyfriend Louis Broadston, and he agreed to pick her up and take her home, after she told him Nicole had been arrested for fighting. She took a taxi back to Croydon Town Central, where Broadston picked her up around 2 a.m., but while in the car, Sally and her ex-boyfriend got into a fight, and they accused the other of infidelity, which had been contributed to their recent split. Shortly after 4 a.m., Sally left the car and Louis drove off. Minutes later, Sally was then stabbed in the neck and stomach and was then raped as she lay dead or dying on the ground. Her handbag, cardigan, and underwear and mobile phone were stolen. Police initially treated Louis as a suspect, and he was then arrested. After being held for 4 days, DNA evidence eliminated him as a suspect, and he was released without charge. On June 28, 2006, 35-year-old Croydon man Mark Dixie was arrested on suspicion of murdering Sally. He was charged with Sally's murder and remained in custody to await trial. This development came after police discovered a DNA link to the murder, having taken a DNA swab from Dixie when they arrested him 2 weeks earlier for allegedly being involved in a brawl at a bar, where he was working as a chef. After more than 18 months in custody, Mark Dixie went on trial at the Old Bailey in the City of London on February 4, 2008, charged with the murder of Sally Ann Bowman. He admitted to having sex with her after finding her on the ground outside her home, but denied murdering her and said that he did not realize she was dead or dying when he found her, which is just sickening because we all know he did it and what he did to her. Mark Dixie was then found guilty of Sally Bowman's murder by anonymous verdict on February 22, 2008, after 3 hours of jury deliberation. The judge sentenced Mark Dixie to life in prison with a minimum of 34 years, meaning that he is unlikely to be considered for parole until at least 2040. It was also revealed that Mark Dixie was already a convicted serial sex offender. This case is just so chilling and sad because Sally Bowman had dreams of becoming a model and just doing something good with her life. And that went all out the door because this mentally unstable man had other plans. She was just 18 years old with her whole life ahead of her. May she rest in peace.
Freaking case, man. These people, bro, they be doing demented things, bro. Freaking never fails, bro. To hear that she was that young as well, man. She had plans for her life and all that, bro. He just came along and just freaking ruined it all, bro. Just because of the type of person he was, man. Seekers, bro. So it was it's an evil place, man. You always gotta be aware because you never know somebody's intentions, bro. You just never know. YouTube seekers, man. If you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a real seeker, man, who's seeking the truth. So I appreciate that, man. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man. Hit that post notification bell, man, so you guys never miss a video. Guys, we're climbing, we're growing, so I really appreciate that. You guys gonna catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace, seekers.